Hey everyone, my name is Alondra Iniguez, and my research question is: do second grade English language learners experience an increase in reading fluency after participating in the Horizons reading program? The reason I'm interested in this is because I am a small group reading instructor who works with second grade ELL students, and I have used this program before in my own interventions. I really enjoyed using it, and I wanted to know if there was research out there that supported its effectiveness. A brief summary of my topic is that educational researchers have found small group and one-on-one reading interventions to be successful in improving oral reading fluency, and they should be implemented as soon as possible, regardless of English proficiency level. Also, the Horizons reading program was found to be an effective direct instruction reading program. The problem here is that a large portion of ELL students, primarily those who are Latino, are struggling with learning to read at rates that surpass the national average. If we do not address this issue, we will continue to see a cycle where ELL students fall behind in their more advanced courses later on, such as science or literature, because their reading fluency and comprehension problems were not properly addressed early enough, and they are not reading at grade level as a result. While existing literature has found the Horizons reading program to improve student reading fluency, there is yet to be any study that examines this program's effectiveness, specifically on the ELL student population. Since this phonics based program is intended to teach early literacy, it is critical to examine if it also has a positive effect on reading fluency for ELL students as well. Looking now at a small group intervention, Ross and Begeni were interested in improving oral reading fluency and determining which kind of reading intervention was most effective. The authors used Dibble's testing to analyze gains in words correct per minute. It was determined that small group intervention benefited 2 out of the 5 students just as much as the one on one did. This was still found to be meaningful because small group interventions require less implementation resources, such as teachers, which means that they are able to help many more students at once compared to one on one interventions. The Horizons Reading Program is a type of direct instruction program. This study evaluated the effectiveness of the program on decoding and oral reading fluency skills in comparison to a competing program. Several different reading tests were used and found that the Horizons reading groups read more words and made less errors on all of the assessments than those in the competing group. Tobin, the author, also completed a follow up study to compare the scores from the state mandated testing in third and fourth grade between the students who received the Horizons reading program versus the competing curriculum. And the students who received the Horizons reading instruction had significantly higher scores on this test in both the third and the fourth grade compared to those who received the other curriculum. So, how does all of this tie in with learning theories? Well, information processing theory tells us that since humans have limited cognitive capacity available to process cognitive loads of information, it becomes necessary for individuals to develop automaticity in processing lower level tasks so that they can save their cognitive resources for higher order tasks. An example of this in reading would be developing the automatic skills of phonemic awareness and blending sounds together, which is considered a lower level task, in order to use the cognitive capacity that is available to work on comprehension, which is a higher order task. This ability to develop automaticity in lower level processing is what can separate fluent readers from non fluent readers. Finally, my conclusions were that the first thing is the sooner we can intervene for students who are struggling with automatic processing, the faster we can help them become fluent readers. In fact, it is even better to begin using these programs before serious reading problems arise, rather than waiting to correct misconceptions later on in school. More research is definitely needed to provide educators with more data driven information before they choose what kind of reading intervention to implement with their students. There is indeed a gap in the literature when it comes to ELL students and learning to read, so future research would definitely benefit this vulnerable population. Improved reading fluency and comprehension would just be the first step in helping these students. Some future directions of this research could also include ELLs and motivation in high school, college preparedness, family involvement, and perception of higher education. And these are my references. Thank you guys so much for listening.